guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is going to be a foundation review on Laura Mercier's brand new Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation. I purchased it in the color 2-1 Cashew, and it's a pretty decent match. At least I tested it on the back of my hand and it looks pretty good. So we will find out together if it's actually good for my face. And I just wanted to give you a quick lowdown on the details of this foundation. It comes in 20 shades. It is a 15-hour, long-wearing, oil-free, transfer-resistant liquid foundation with a matte finish and weightless medium to full coverage. So it was intriguing to me because it was appropriate for all skin types, and I have, as you guys probably know, I have dry, sensitive skin, and it's hard for me to find matte foundations that work for me because they're usually drying, and it's not typically the feeling that I like. So occasionally I do like to change it up, you know, get a matte finish. So I thought I would give this one a try. It is $48 for one, I'm assuming it's 1 ounce. Yes, for 1 fluid ounce. And it comes in this nice frosted glass bottle, which is lovely. And I don't know if you can see, but the patterning on the cover here is like a zebra print. So that was pretty cool. And comes in this Laura Mercier box. And it also has a pump dispenser, which I am a big fan of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it with you on camera, and then I'll do a check-in midday to let you know how that long wear situation is going. And then I'll do a final check-in with my thoughts on it. So let's get started. I'm going to pump out 2 pumps onto a palette here. And I wouldn't, it's definitely liquidy, but it's not runny in any way. It looks like it's very lotiony, if you will. So it has definitely a nice texture. I'm going to go ahead and dab some onto the right side of my face here. And just see how this works with my Hourglass brush. So I should mention that I have already washed my face and moisturized, but I have absolutely no makeup on, no primer or anything. I really wanted to, you know, kind of test out how this matte formula would work with my skin. I like the finish. It is definitely matte. It doesn't even really feel like I have anything on. It is actually very, very light. I'm trying to determine whether or not I would say this is a medium to full upon first application. I would say right now with this one layer with a brush, it is like light to medium. I'm assuming you'll be able to build it up if their claims are medium to full. So we shall see, but I do think the shade is pretty decent for me. So let me dab a little bit more onto my forehead. Definitely some decent coverage around my nose there where I have redness. Okay, so that was, let's see, that's how much I used of my 2 pumps. So most of it, I want to say. I only did half of my face. I don't know if you can see the coverage difference. You know, I mean, at most I would call this a medium coverage. I wouldn't say that this is, medium to full. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. I think it's a rock solid medium coverage. I see a little bit of a sheen here on my cheekbone. I think that is probably gonna go away soon. I can kind of see the foundation on the rest of my face kind of setting, and the sheen is starting to go away. When I do look at my forehead though, where I wouldn't necessarily say this is the driest part of my face. It's probably normal to dry my forehead, but I do have I have like super deep expression lines here. And the foundation is, I feel like, emphasizing that a bit, which is not great, but I don't feel like it's emphasizing the fine lines under my eyes or anything. So that makes me very happy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pump out 2 more pumps and dab that the left side of my face, and I'm going to go ahead and use a beauty blender for this. I want to say the application between the beauty sponge and the brush is actually fairly similar. I don't see that much of a difference. You know, usually when you use a sponge, the foundation gets pretty sheared out, but I don't see that at all. I'm not going to go in with any more because I want to see how this like matte finish is gonna work for my skin long term. And I don't really need to go for like a full coverage foundation today. It's gonna be hot out, so I think I just wanna leave it here. But for purposes of this video, I do wanna see if this foundation is buildable. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some kind of to this lower part of my cheekbone along my jawline where I have some redness, and just see if I can build this up to like a full, what I consider a full coverage. All right, so I think I got, you know, like a little bit more, but I really can't say that this is like a full coverage. So far, for someone who does not like matte foundations generally, or, you know, matte foundations just haven't worked for me. They're very, very drying, or they always feel like a mask. This is actually very comfortable. It is definitely lightweight, which I think is one of their claims. So let me go and put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back. I put on the rest of my makeup and I actually didn't put any powder, like setting powder, on my face because it didn't feel like I needed it. Again, maybe just that matte finish is throwing me off. But I did put on like powder, bronzer, and highlighter, and a little bit of blush, and it went on really beautifully. So this foundation definitely gives your skin like a really nice canvas to work with. I am really liking this foundation so far. It's been about, I don't know, about a half an hour since I initially put it on. It's about 8:20 now. Yeah, I did start a little bit before 8 o'clock. So I want to say that it's not like blurring my larger or deeper expression lines, but it's also not emphasizing them, which I'm very happy about. And it is definitely not sinking into my under eye fine lines, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, so far I'm really, really happy with this. I'm so happy that it's not making me feel like my skin is super, super dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this on. I'm gonna check in at around lunchtime. I'm gonna be going out a couple of times today, and it's gonna be like 110 degrees again. So we'll see if this holds up to that 15-hour long claim that it makes. So we'll see, and I'll be back. Hey guys, I thought I would do my midday check-in. It's at about 1:20 right now, so I've had the makeup on for about 5.5 hours. I've had it on since about 7:45 this morning, so I think that's 5.5 hours. Anyway, I think it looks really good. I have been out and about in 110 degree weather, so there is a little bit of kind of glowiness coming through. I don't think any foundation could stand up to 110 degrees, so the fact that it's just this sort of nice radiantness coming through, I think is fine. I think it's actually pretty nice. I think my skin looks great. I think the finish of it has stayed consistent on those parts of my face that don't sweat as much, like here. If you can see, it's still fairly matte. My makeup on top is wearing well. I didn't use any setting spray. I should probably reapply my lipstick when I do these check-ins. Sorry, that's pretty bad. I just had lunch. Anyway, I think if this foundation continues to wear as it has been for the last 5.5 hours, I will be very, very happy. So I will do a final check-in probably at around 5 o'clock, which means I'll have the makeup on for almost 10 hours, I think 9.5 at that point. So I won't be testing it for its full 15-hour claim. I don't know who could. That's a really long time to have makeup on. So I will do a check-in at around 5 at around the 10-hour mark. So I will see you then. Hey guys, so I thought I'd start zoomed in for this final check-in. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so I've had the makeup on for, I guess over, I can't even count, so over 9 hours, about 9 hours and 15 minutes. I am fairly impressed with the longevity of this makeup. I think generally there hasn't been any sort of like weird patchy breakdown of the makeup, but it is definitely wearing off around my nose, which is generally where foundation starts to break down, at least on me. My nose is probably the oiliest point on my face. But I will say that it's wearing down very evenly. It's almost imperceptible. It just sort of looks like I have less foundation on in this area versus it kind of like crumbling off, or it kind of like being, you know, kind of like when water dries and it just leaves these marks or whatever. It doesn't have that effect, thankfully. Sorry, the like clouds just rolled in oddly, so I just changed the exposure on my camera. So hopefully you can see me better now. So let me see if I can get even closer so you can see what I'm talking about around my nose. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just right around my nostril there. It's just like kind of faded and there really isn't much foundation left there. So let me just zoom you back out and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on this foundation, I really like it. I'm actually surprised at how much I like it. When I found out that it was a matte foundation and it was supposed to be good for every skin type, I was very intrigued because I generally don't like matte foundations. I don't think that they generally work well on dry, sensitive skin like mine. But this one is really, really weightless. It doesn't have that dry, cakey mask feeling. It doesn't feel like it's tightening my skin in any way. In fact, I can't even feel it on my skin at all. And it definitely gave me a matte finish, but it was just matte. It wasn't like dry, like the Sahara Desert dry matte. It was just not shiny, if that makes any sense. And so I think it's great if you have dry skin, if you are looking for a matte finish foundation. I think the price point is pretty great. $48 for an ounce. Obviously that's nothing compared to like the Ordinary foundation, which is like just shy of $7, or Wet n Wild foundation, which is like $4 or $5. But I think it's great. It is Laura Mercier. It is definitely a mid to high-end brand. And yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think it's definitely worth it. I love the packaging. I love this like frosted glass bottle. I think the pump is really nice. And I also appreciate the shade range. There's 20 shades, I believe, if I counted correctly. And it seems to cover most everyone. I can't speak for everyone, but it looks like at least they made an attempt to address a wide range of skin tones, which can be appreciated. It also does not have any fragrance of any kind. And for someone like myself who's very sensitive to fragrance, I'm very, very happy about that. So that's another plus about this foundation. And I think what I liked the most about this, aside from its longevity and the feeling and everything, it really didn't sink into the fine lines under my eyes, which is just something I kind of expect with, you know, a lot of foundations, a lot of base products, especially matte ones. And this one actually looked like it kind of did like a blurring effect under my eyes. I was even trying to think today when I was looking in the mirror, I was like, did I get a lot of sleep last night? Is my under eye skin just like better today? Is that what's going on? That's definitely not the case. I did not have a very restful week. But anyway, it just did such a good job under my eyes. I was really surprised. I mean, in terms of my expression lines, which are like miles deep along my forehead and my laugh lines here, it's like the same as any other foundation. I don't think that they're especially accentuated, but they're not like really blurred out either. So I think that is, you know, that for me is fine. It's just, you know, they are what they are. So anyway, long story short, if you have dry, sensitive skin, if you have maturing skin, and you're looking for something, especially in the summertime, if you're looking for something a little bit more matte, I definitely recommend this. This formula is really great. It's really, really great, and I can't stress to you how comfortable it is. Like, I really didn't feel like I was wearing any makeup today. Really phenomenal. So I highly recommend this foundation. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel down below. I would love that, and I will see you in my next video.